is up, YouTubers? We're back with another episode of Our 60 Journey. It is I, Lucas, and I'm here to help us build healthy relationships. So, do you find yourself disempowered sometimes in relationships? Do you find yourself counting like all these expectations of what it is you want the relationship to be, and how it is this could happen, and this could happen, and this should be happening, and I want this, and I want that, and then nothing shows up? Does this happen to you? It happened, it used to happen, to me all the time, and I'll tell you why. So I would get in new relationships, I'd be out and about in public, and I'd be meeting people, and I would put up kind of this force field of energy around me where I wouldn't want to be my true authentic self. I'd be afraid to say what was on my mind. Like, a really great example of this is I still drive Uber, and this happens like 1 in every 3 rides, where someone says, "So, is this your full-time gig?" Which, usually by their tone, I'm thinking to myself, are you judging me for driving Uber? Because they're like rich, and I do Uber Select, and they're paying, $80 for a 20-minute ride. And so they're like, "Is this all you do?" And it was that energy of them going, "Is this your only job?" that I would then, first of all, I would feel a little bit offended, because I noticed that they were somewhat judging me, and so I'd put up an even stronger force field, and I would go, "Well, actually, I have 4 jobs. I teach dance. Yeah, 15 years. Isn't that cool? And actually, I'm a healer. I heal people." I'm thinking through all of these responses I had in my past, and I'm like, wow. And I'll be like, "Oh, and I'm also, I'm an emotional intuitive, some would call me a psychic." And I put up this air of arrogance about how, "Oh, you don't even know me. I'm so awesome. You can't even blah." And then yesterday, I was inside an Uber, and someone said, "So, is this your full-time gig?" And I said, "No, actually, it's not. I've been teaching dance for like 15 years, and I work over the phone as an emotional intuitive. Some would call me a psychic. And I'm also a licensed healer, so I do energy healings for people." And their response totally shifted. And they're like, "Really?" And a woman in the back goes, "Like Reiki?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a level 3 Reiki practitioner. I'm a master Reiki healer." And she goes, "Wow, I've heard of that. Does it really work?" And of course, I busted out laughing, and I said, "Well, I guess it'd be kind of ironic if I did something I didn't believe in." I said, "But isn't that really the key thing to all things in life? Is you have to believe for it to work? It's like, if you don't believe this pill is going to work for you, it's not going to work." It's kind of like, it's all mental. It's all mental. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is because when you start a new relationship, casual at a dance club, new coworker comes in, someone you're dating, a new friend you meet through a friend, when you start from a place of authenticity and you're really open and honest and real with yourself and with them, they are so much more receptive to the fact that you are yourself. And then you're building this relationship on who you are, what you expect, where you're going, what the outcomes you're expecting to be are. And these things, when you come from that place of authenticity about who you really are on the inside, people receive you. They receive you. You're not trying to explain why you're deserving of their energy. You're not trying to create this air of you're worthy. You just know you are. You just know it. And it goes back to the previous video I put out about making deposits. If you're wanting people to be authentic and vulnerable and real with you, then do the same things with them. Just be yourself. Because we are all, from what I'm noticing deep down the inside, we are all a lot more quirky than most of us let on. Most of us are pretty weird. And when we all let our guard down, that weirdness tends to be a commonality, not a dissonance or, "Oh, they're different than me because they're like this." No, we're all pretty freaking weird. I was talking to a woman yesterday, and she goes, "So I'm dating this guy, and this woman is very, very intuitive, okay? She sees things, she hears things. She ain't crazy, and neither am I." She sees things, she hears things, she goes, I think that the guy I'm dating is a mystic. Do you see that? And I said, well, sweetheart, everyone has some form of connection to a higher supernatural way of life. How they walk down that path, how they chase that ideal is always different, but each of us has a connection to something higher than ourselves. Like, I might be being a little judgy when I say this, but I'm being honest. I don't feel like having no faith is a thing. Like, when people say they don't believe in anything, I'm like, yes, you do. You believe in nothing. You always believe. There's always belief. Like, you cannot escape belief. And it's when we come through with our beliefs, our faiths, that people open up to us. I'm getting this message right now. This one time I was talking to one of my teachers, and she says to me, I just feel like faith is a really private matter and it shouldn't be discussed. What? Why? Why? Maybe bits of your faith will inspire that person to go and find bits of their faith. And they might, I was a little judgy. I was being a little judgy. Those beliefs that we give to people then inspire them to go and find theirs. And they probably won't match us 100%, most likely. They will not. But it doesn't matter because they're being themselves. And you're being yourself, and I'm being myself. And that is our common bond, is that each of us are unique. And it's when we embrace our own inner uniqueness that people will then embrace their own specialities about who they are. And then you can bond about the fact that you're different. We're all differently the same. Isn't that beautiful? And I just want people to be able to give who they are without expecting the other person to be like them. That's a big thing. Such a big thing. Like, where people will be hearing someone talk, they're like, oh, you just need blank in your life. And they put these really specific things inside that blank. And that does not breed joy. That breeds disillusion, and that breeds separation. Now, saying something like, you just need to find your faith, not find my faith, not find their faith. You need to find your faith. And then when they find their faith, and they're grounded in it, and it makes them feel good, support them. Support people for being who they are. And then there won't be all these mixed messages of you should change and become this and be like me, and that's ego. If you've ever went and told someone they should be a certain way, whether it related to faith or eating habits or daily rituals, that's egoic. That is your egoic mind trying to change someone to be like you. And if you've seen The Matrix, that's what Smith does. Smith copies himself into others to make everyone just like him. And that's not a thing. I mean, it is a thing. It ain't a good thing, though. And so, but even then, as I say that, is that judgy? For me to say that we shouldn't do that? Wow. What a paradox we just found. So anyway, be yourself, be authentic, love yourself, love everybody else, and everything will be okay.